You can take this, and I know this is a cello hack, this is one of those skeleton key tricks. Your 3 fingers naturally placed along your instrument now will help you find the Ionian or major scale whole, half. So it's important that we look at not only the intervals, which are here, 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 and here, which indicate the whole or half interval, whole or half step, or whole or half tone, but these also are notes. That's a note, this is a note, these are all notes that we play. 7 notes, and the 8th note being the same as the first. So when we look at this, let's fill in those spaces with notes. And there's an easy trick on the cello that you can do. Your cello, as I've right here, has every half tone, half step, okay? Every and what I did, I just climbed up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, the chromatic scale. It's very important that you learn that. If you have my scale book, it's in my scale book. Learn your chromatic scales. So start here on the, we're starting here on D flat. There's your whole step. Then put your index finger on that last note. The next is the whole step. The next is that little H. So I'm going to put my index finger on that and then play that note. It's a half step is 2 fingers. Remember, it's the distance in between. Whole step, half step. And then going forward is a big W. So I'm going to take my index finger, place it there, put 3 fingers down. There's my whole step. Take my index finger, place it there, 3 fingers together. Take my index finger, replace it where the 3rd finger was. Again, fingers getting closer together. And the last, taking my index finger, placing on that last note, and then dropping. And I have now played an Ionian or major scale, which in this case, D flat major. If you want to understand the intervals on any major or minor scale, but this particular major scale, play it along one string, measure it out with your fingers once more. Let's do G string A. So here's A, 3 fingers down, there's my whole step. So I'm the first W, the first letter. Measure it out, 3 fingers down, second big W, 2 fingers down to little H. And then you're going to put your index finger on that, space out, big W, big W, big W, and then H. And here's a funny thing about the letters. That's a W. That's a big W. As for H, the H doesn't work. The H doesn't work. But the W works, so make W's. And so when you're comfortable with that, you can even do moving your finger up, index finger each time. And then with one fingering, a little more efficient, crossing over. That is correct. On cello, there is almost a limitless manner of playing your scales and fingerings. That's a great thing about fingerings on the cello. It really, really is. And that's why I start my scale book with this quote from none other than Jean-Louis Duport. And in my scale book, translated, I'm going to try to say this again, but I'm terrible at my French pronunciation. Si le violoncelle n'était pas susceptible d'être droite régulièrement. If the cello wasn't susceptible to or between regular fingerings, ce serait un instrument médiocre. It would become a mediocre instrument. Mais ce n'est pas là. But it is not that. Le rang, ce n'est pas le rang. It is not the rank qu'il tient de nos jours parmi les instruments. In other words, this is not the place it has today in between the instruments. Jean-Louis Dubourg was a master cellist and teacher, and if he said that, and that's why I start my cello book with that, in that sense that I want you to understand that the fingering is not regular. It's multiple. It's so multidimensional. Okay?